Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do. Do-do. Pull up the odds.
So you got my money?
What's up, everybody? How we doing? It is another episode of 10K Bets Live 2024 U.S. Open at Pinehurst style. Joining me today is none other than Boss Man. Boss Man, how we doing?
Great, man. I'm ready for what's unfortunately our third major of the year. I kind of miss when the PGA Tour or the PGA Championship was the last one of the year, because then we had one in August to look forward to. But U.S. Open, dude, Pinehurst, it's already been fucking brutal. At the practice rounds, the carnage is going to be unreal around the greens this week. Did you see the video? I think it was hole 13 of the ball rolling down the hill. Like,
it's going to be
middle of the green, down fucking 20 yards off the green. It's insane.
Yeah, no, it's no mercy, especially after last year's U.S. Open when Ricky and Xander both shot 62s or whatever on the first day, like tournament records or course records, rather. I mean, I think they might have taken that a little personal, and I think this year, they're out for blood, which is great. I mean, as a viewer, that is number one, right? I mean, making birdies is great and everything, but we want to see people struggle. I mean,
we want to see we want to see what professional golfers do, have it be very alike to what we do at our local municipal course, right? Like, we want to see them get eaten alive to no fault of their own.
I'm excited for it. It should be like a perfect balance of like good ball striking, but then if you kind of just like miss, a little spot in the green, you're fucked. Yeah. And I think it should be just great. I mean, it'll definitely test a lot of guys. It'll test the best in the world. I mean, that's what the U.S. Open is all about, and I'm excited. I mean,
at LA Country Club. If it's at LA Country Club, anyone can do it. But this year they clearly wanted to dial up the difficulties. So good for them. Good for the USGA for you know what? You don't have to get it right the first time. Get it right the second time, because this course is gonna fuck these golfers. There's not a doubt.
For sure. I mean, a par 70. There's only two par fives, and it's 7,500 yards. I mean, this thing's a beast. It's a monster. It's gonna be really hard, and I can't wait to watch it. I'm super stoked about it. Hopefully, we see, coming down on Sunday, quite a battle. I mean, yeah, it's great to see Scotty succeed, but it does get a little repetitive, a little boring. I'm trying to see five guys in the hunt, and so it should be fun. I'm hoping it comes down to those last 3 to 4 holes on Sunday at a major. I mean, that's really what it's all about.
We just want to see the P word, right? We want a playoff. Let's see a playoff in one of these majors. It's been mostly one guy dominating the whole week. I'd say really, other than the Masters, where Scotty really turned it on Sunday, but pretty much every other major has been whoever's leading going into the weekend has had a good chance of winning it. At least the PGA, it was Xander pretty much the whole way. So yeah, dude, let's see a battle. Let's see a battle in terms of the golfers versus the golf course, and let's see a battle between the golfers and the golfers. That's all we want. That's all we want.
100%. Who do you like this week?
God, so I like Bryson. I like Bryson more than just him to win this week. I mean, the guy, someone pointed out the best. So, like, this dude got paid $100 million by the Saudis, plays less golf, has somehow become more popular through his YouTube page. He did like the playing with old-fashioned clubs. I think that video dropped today. He's just been such a more likable dude this year. I'm certainly rooting for him this week. I think his distance is going to help. You mentioned it was like, what, 7,500 yards?
Yeah.
Him and those 3D printed clubs are really going to need.
Yeah.
He's hitting his 8-iron like 220 yards. He said that in the press conference yesterday, which is fucking bananas. I'm honestly. And it's because his 8-iron is essentially a 6-iron, which, you know, USGA approved it, so whatever. But
yeah,
Bryson, I think Morikawa, that's a guy who's been knocking on the door. He's really solid around the greens. I'm basing that take solely off of like the one video he posted during the practice round where he uses a 3-wood and runs it up and lips out from off the green.
Saw that.
That's solely what I'm basing this take off of, that, as well as just the way he's been coming down the stretch every Sunday. I mean, he kind of blew his chances at the Masters. He was up there in the PGA. But this could be the one. I think he's won it before, right? Collins won the US Open. So
no, he's got a British and he has a PGA.
Okay, so this is one that he needs. So even all the better. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like Colin this week too. I think he's been knocking on the door in a lot of big time tournaments, and you know, he just hasn't been able to get it done, but his game is there. His irons, this is a ball striking course. His irons are really solid. His short game's pretty solid, and his putter has been coming alive recently, which has really you sparked him up the leaderboard in the tournaments that he's played in. You know, you can get him 20-1 right now. I think that's, you know, for your bang for your buck, a value purpose. That's a lot better than like taking Scotty at plus 300. I understand the guy is the you know, the hottest golfer the PGA Tour has probably ever seen since Tiger.
Yeah.
But at plus 300, it's just, I can't do a lot with that. And I get it. I get the odds for Scotty. He's won 5 of his last 8 tournaments. He won the Masters. He's coming off a win at the Memorial. I get it. The line, I don't have any qualms with it.
He survived prison. He's bad now.
Yeah, exactly. So, and people are saying the only reason he didn't win the PGA is because he went to jail for an hour. And, you know, maybe I agree with that.
He went to jail for an hour, and his caddy was gone for debatably the most important day of the tournament, Saturday, moving day, which was killer too. I mean, I get it. Ted Scott, is that his name, right?
Yeah, that's right.
His son was graduating high school, and Scotty said, yeah, go see something that you're going to see once in your lifetime. I totally get that. But yeah, that weekend was just not his weekend for things. He could have controlled, I guess, the cop situation a little better, but like the graduation thing. So yeah, dude, Scotty, I don't even chalk that up as a loss for him. I mean, that was just a weird weekend for him. And
I agree. Yeah, I mean, he's been spectacular. We've all watched it. But for me, plus 300 in a golf tournament with 100 and whatever guys, full field, I just can't get behind it. You know, if he wins, will I be shocked? Absolutely not. I've seen him, you know, do this time after time. But as far as a value perspective, you know, getting back to Colin at 20-1, Bryson at 20-1. I mean, these guys have really showed that, you know, they can compete anywhere. So I really like those two guys. I have those two on my card, along with Brooks at 25-1 and Ludwig Aberg at 20-1 as well. I mean, these are ball striker galore guys. And you're giving me 20-1 on them. I mean, I can't pass it up. I really can't. You know, so those are just 4 early ones. And then I like to take 4 or 5 long shots. You know, I found Max Homa. I know he's, you know, struggled in majors a little bit, but he did pretty well in the Masters this year with a top 10 finish. You know, he's 50-1. I like to go to, you know, guys like that as well. You know, Cam Smith, another guy, he's been struggling a little bit, and you know, his ball striking hasn't really been there, but he's still one of the best putters, you know, in golf in the world. So at 50-1, he's another guy I like. Wyndham Clark, you know, he's the past U.S. Open champion. He's 50-1. So, I mean, the value here is really hard to pass up. It just seems too good, you know, to let him go.
I mean, even if you don't want to pick a winner, you could pick any of those names you listed out as top 20, even top 10, honestly.
100%.
Morikawa top 10, maybe Xander top 10, Rory top 10. You actually get pretty good odds for top 10s. I mean, it's still difficult to do, but you don't need to rely on them winning the tournament. I got an interesting play from my buddy Jake Littman down in Winona, who has a radio station down there. He bet Xander Schauffele to be winning after tomorrow, which is a great play. I don't know what the odds are on it, but that guy is, I mean, we talked about it the last two shows. We're like, there's no one who's better at playing in a major on Thursday than Xander. Now we can put the take to rest that he can't play any other days. You know, he proved us wrong in the PGA, and we're happy he did. But yeah, taking Xander to be leading after tomorrow is great play as well. Honestly,
great play. It's one of those things where for the last 2-3 years, it was like, okay, Xander's he's going to be up there on the weekend, but he's going to kind of crumble and probably finish around T15. Now we've seen it. Now it's over. We can't talk about it anymore. He went damn near, I think it was very close to wire, if not wire to wire in the PGA. I mean, he's playing some of the best golf, of his life. And he's just been really good. I mean, I think that's another guy you might want to look into again. I know it's pretty tough to go back-to-back wins in majors, but he's another guy. I think he's about 10-1, 12-1, something like that. He's just really, really solid, and I didn't think he could do it. And then he proved everyone wrong. Playing on the weekend, playing with the lead, and just grinding out a PGA win. So I'm happy for him. I think he definitely deserves it. He's had like 1,800 runner-ups, so this is definitely one in the right direction for him for sure.
Yeah, we're not allowed to give you guys advice on Xander again, because if you remember Sammy Stats, there was a guy in the chat for the PGA show we did, and he said, should I take Xander? And we both ended up saying he's going to break your heart Sunday, pass on him. We fucked that guy over out of quite a bit of money. So
I know. I really hope he still did it, because I mean, it was crazy. I mean, I definitely talked him off the ledge on Xander.
I'm a Xander fan, and I told him not to do it, because it's almost like if someone asks you, should I bet on your Minnesota Vikings or your Minnesota Wild or your Minnesota Timberwolves to win it all this year? I'm going to say I hope they do, but they probably won't. So that's kind of what we, as Xander fans, we've been abused in the past, but we got the win on the PGA, so now anything's possible. But long story short, we're not going to give you advice on whether to bet Xander or not, because if we tell you to do it this time, he'll probably miss the cut.
Yeah. It's one of those things. I can't get that guy right. He'll either do what he did in the PGA, or he'll, have a nice Thursday, a decent Friday, and then he, plays the weekend 4 over par. Yeah. So I got to stay away from him. I can't get him right. But a couple numbers to make the cut. What do you think about Mr. Tiger Woods plus 300 to make the cut?
I hate to say this. It pains me to say this. I don't think Tiger's going to make the cut this weekend. I think he just had another surgery 2 weeks ago, I think, where it was like a very minor operation, but I did see him tweet out that he underwent some sort of surgery or something. Or maybe, am I wrong? Do you remember seeing something? I thought
I saw there was something along the lines. I didn't read into it. Enough, but I figured, I mean, he's had 4,000 surgeries, so there's probably another one.
He had to put out a statement, so it was big enough, obviously, to where he wanted to tell people about it. But he's still going, he's still kicking. He's my favorite golfer of all time. I'm not gonna not believe in him, but I also think, man, that it's just like especially these long golf courses where there's a lot of walking and there's a lot of carnage. I could just see him getting eaten alive by number 2.
Yeah, no, I agree. Here's the deal. At plus 250, plus 300, depending on where you bet it, for me, I have to take it. I understand it's likely a loser. I get that. The odds are the odds for a reason. But like, if I'm watching Tiger, I got to cheer for him. I absolutely have to cheer for him. Yeah. I want him to do the best that he possibly can do. And at 3-1, damn near, for him to make the cut, I mean, I just have to do it. I understand that obviously the odds are not in your favor, and but I'm not asking for a lot here. I'm asking for a couple of 73, 74s, make the cut by maybe 2 or 3 strokes, play the weekend. There's not one golf fan in the world that doesn't want to see
Right.
Tiger play the weekend. So I got to take it. But, I understand he could easily just go like +8, +10, and maybe withdraw. I mean, whatever. But, I got to, as a Tiger fan, as a golf fan, I got to take Mr. Woods.
Yeah, no, I feel you, and I'm a Tiger fan too. So I think I'm not even a handicapper, but if I was calling myself a handicapper, I'd say don't do it. But as a fan, I'd say do it. Fuck it.
Yeah. This is a total bet with my heart play.
Yeah,
I mean,
which is fine. Which is fine. You have to throw those in the mix. I'll tell you one person who's not going to win this golf tournament. Can you guess who he is?
Well, John Rahm withdrew, so he's definitely not winning.
He's definitely not winning.
He's definitely not winning.
Who's someone we talk about every time? The PGA Tour puts out a post about will he do it again every time.
Damn, man. You got a hint for me?
Just think. Who does the PGA Tour always want to see win? Who is just not probably going to win a major anytime soon again?
Oh, it's Ricky.
Well, Ricky, but Rory too.
Okay, sure.
I already saw the PGA Tour made a post. Will this be the one that Rory does it? And I'm like, you guys got to stop. You're putting too much pressure on him to do it every time. You need to let him go. He did just get back together with his wife, I guess.
I guess they called off the divorce
and they worked things out. So, and Sam, I didn't even reach out to you for comment about this. I did hear that Amanda, our girl who
Ballinonis, I believe.
Now she just filed for divorce, right?
I also, because it was Amanda Renner, and then she changed the name back.
Wow. So there you go. They both filed for divorce at very odd times, and everyone thought they were making coitus, but apparently everything's great between Rory and his wife again. So, maybe this is a makeup tournament.
That would be great. Honestly, if Rory won, I'm not going to bet on him this week, but if he wins, I will be happy for him. I mean, it's been so damn long since he's won a major. There's been rumblings. Will he ever do it again? He's had so many great Sundays to be like T4, T3,
and finish with 7 straight birdies to lose the tournament by 2. He just knocked, right? Yeah.
So I'd love to see it happen for sure for Rory, but this is a similar Xander situation. I mean, until he does it, I just don't know if I can get behind it.
Right. Yeah, he has to. I think once he does it once in a major, look out every other time. But it's like the cold streak has just gone so cold for so long, and that only just adds more pressure. I feel like if Rory won a major, it would be like a relief. Like, remember how I think the Patriots said, when they were in their dynasty era, they would win the Super Bowl. It was a relief. I think because all the expectations, I think if Rory finally wins a major again, it's just going to be a sense of relief of now everyone can stop fucking putting pressure on me to do it. Because he needs that. He needs that one bad.
He does. Yeah, I hope it happens. But just getting into some tournament matchups.
Yeah.
There's a few that catch my eye here. And these 3 guys I also took outright. But I like Homa plus 130 over Hideki. I just think Homa's playing a little well. Other than a 9-under Sunday for Hideki to win the Genesis, he hasn't really done much. So I like the value at plus 130 there. Bryson plus 100 over Oberg. I actually have both of those guys to win, but I think Bryson, I have him a little higher up on my board. So I get an even money versus Bryson Oberg, I think.
He's another big Thursday player. He's always after Thursday. Him and Xander are both always in the top 5 after Thursday.
Yeah, no, he starts hot as well. I like that. And then Colin, plus 125 over Rory. Again, we just talked about it. I'm not sure if Rory's going to do it or not. But I'm getting plus money with Colin, who's been playing really, really well this year. So those are just 3 plus money tournament matchups that I played. I think I think there's a lot of value there. Kind of coin flip ones, but getting Bryson at plus money and then Colin at plus money, just how they've been playing, I think that's tough to pass up. But that's pretty much all I got. I typically just like to take 10-ish outrights and then a few tournament matchups. Of course, if Scotty wins, then I'll lose all those. But I'm banking he doesn't. A plus 300 with Scotty.
Insane.
That's about an 18 to 20% chance of him winning, and I'll take the other 80.
You'll take the field.
I'll take the field there. I understand he's terrific, but as a bettor, I just can't lay that.
Yeah, I mean it's wild. He's turning into what some golfers in the past were supposed to be that didn't quite keep it going. Like Rory should have been doing this at one point. Spieth should have been doing this at one point, but Scotty, like you said, is probably the first golfer we've seen do it this long, this consistently since Tiger Woods, which is just crazy. It's crazy because I've been following him since he was just a college kid at Texas who was competing for the national championship. And now and then I remember, he's on tour already and he's pretty young to be on tour. And just to think this is what he's turned into is just freaking nuts. So
yeah, he's incredible. He really is.
I mean, he's gonna be going. He's gonna be going for that first U.S. Open victory, plus his first tournament as a father on Father's Day, which is like there's too many stars that align. But yeah,
300%.
3-1.
That definitely worries me,
dude. Here's a quick follow-up question: if Scotty wins the U.S. Open, would he be minus money as a favorite going into the British?
I don't know if it's quite that big yet, but it'll definitely be like maybe plus 175 kind of thing.
Crazy.
Plus 200.
Crazy. It's him
absolutely nuts.
Other dudes. It's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like vintage Tiger when I think it was like the 2007 US Open, he was minus 125. Like just as stupid as it gets. I don't know if we'll ever see a golfer minus money again since Tiger. Yeah. But I mean, at plus 300, we're getting pretty damn close to seeing odds like that. But obviously,
who's the second closest? Is it Rory? Probably.
Yeah. Rory and Xander are both plus 1,000.
Yeah. So that's insane. 700 difference in odds.
Yeah.
Like that's wild.
Yeah, I mean, he's won 5 of his last 8 starts. I mean, he's literally proven he's just like the best guy out there. But, another thing about Pinehurst, and this is kind of one reason I don't absolutely love Scotty, is Scotty's a middle of the field putter. Pinehurst, you have to be your short game has to be so damn good, whether you're going to be putting or chipping from these really weird kind of spacey lies that you don't really kind of know how the ball's going to react. And with putting, I just, Scotty, he relies on the rest of his game, and it's been working. Obviously, he's one of the best, if not the best ball striker, on tour in the world of golf. But his putting is just middle of the road. So, on a course like Pinehurst number 2, strokes gained putting is the number 1 most important stat. You're going to have to be really, really good with your speed and your line. And I just don't know if he'll be able to do that. And therefore I just can't back him anyway. So
he's got to rely on that iron play, because he's got to be able to throw darts and have short birdie putts, because I mean, if you guys have seen any of the videos that have been released on these greens, I mean, you just drop a ball in the middle of it and it rolls 20 yards off to the left.
Isn't that such a crime watching those videos?
Like fucking ice. It's like putting on ice. Like if you thought you putted on a fast green before, think about the fastest green you've ever putted on, right? It was probably a really nice course or probably a really shitty course. And then like multiply that by 10. And that's what these guys are dealing with this week. And you know what? We're here for every bit of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's guys in the press conference that are like, this is outrageous.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you can expect people to play golf on these or putt on these greens. And it's like,
dude, it's going to be like Augusta this year. Remember how brutal Augusta was this year? It's going to be like that.
Yeah. I think the over under is like -4 for the winner. So
Yeah.
now you really know how hard it's going to be. I'm sure the cut's going to be like +6, +7.
Yeah.
It's going to be carnage. I absolutely love it.
We're finally going to be competing with our friends across the pond on how brutal can you make a golf course. I think this is certainly, unlike last year, going to be a year where you see the winning score of the British and the U.S. Open pretty tight at a single digit under par. And you know what? If someone is able to get in the double digits, credit to them, because they basically cheated the system and cheated the game of golf. So good for them.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. If we see Scotty double digits, it's like you really just can't beat this guy.
You're gonna have to throw him in jail again to beat him. Is going to be the only way to beat him if he's going to go double digits this weekend.
Yeah, 100%. But that's pretty much what I got. It's going to be a really fun tournament. I'm very excited. I think if you can keep the ball in the fairway and you're a good ball striker, you should do all right. There's not a ton of rough, which is nice, but there is some really dicey spots to get yourself in trouble. Not only around the greens, but also just like middle, left or right hand side of the fairway. You get into this like dirt / fescue / bush type areas that can be a real nightmare. So I'm excited. I got a lot of high hopes for this one. I think as a viewing standpoint, it should be, probably the best major to watch this year.
Agreed.
Unless there's just a windstorm and wherever they're playing across the pond, it should be a really fun tournament.
Yeah. This is for the USGA. This is our Super Bowl. So let's just hope it's a show. That's all we want.
Yeah, 100%. You got anything else on this?
Nope. I just don't see Rory winning this golf tournament. That's just the take I'm just gonna stick with throughout the weekend. By the way, if you wanna bet on the U.S. Open, but you can't legally sports bet in your state, you can use the Underdog app, which we are sponsored by. Just go to underdogfantasy.com or download the app. You use promo code 10K at sign up, and that's going to get you a deposit match up to $100. You can bet on things like higher or lower on like number of putts around, fairways hit, GIRs, single scores, the matchups that Sammy Stats was talking about. There's just so much fun stuff, and it's just a really good way, I guess, to just further engage in the tournament. Is just there's nothing better than that first day where you're working and you throw it up on another screen, and you got one of those really random ESPN Plus broadcasts up because you got one of the guys in the group on putts or something. There's just nothing more fun than that this time of year. So yeah, underdog.com, promo code 10K.
That's right. Speaking of Underdog Fantasy, I do have a few Thursday morning entries that I'm liking so far. There's just so many things to choose from, but what I landed on is the par 5 scoring. I picked 2 to 3 guys in a couple of entries who I think are going to go lower than 9.5 total strokes in the 2 par 5s, basically going 1 under on the 2 par 5s. From what I've seen on these par 5s is they're pretty gettable. It's 2 of the easiest holes on the course. So I got Max Homa under 9.5, Hovland under 9.5, and DeChambeau under 9.5. It's just playing the par 5s 1 under. Obviously, if they make bogey on them, you're probably dead. You're going to need an eagle. But I just think as far as if you take the other 16 holes on this course, these are by far 2 of the easiest ones. One of them you can reach in 2 fairly easy. And the other one, if you get 2 there, you're probably going to have maybe a 30 to 40 yard pitch. It's a little bit of a longer par 5, but I think these guys are so good. They're just going to try to battle their way around the par 3s and the par 4s, and then the par 5s should be the 2 holes that they can get some scoring on. And then the other one I have is I'm fading DJ, Dustin Johnson, and Ricky Fowler higher than 72 strokes. I don't see their games in any kind of form right now. DJ, God only knows, how he's been surviving. He's been bottom of the board on Live. And Ricky's just, he just hasn't really put anything together since the U.S. Open. So I'm taking their higher tomorrow. I think, again, it's going to be carnage. And I could totally see them 2 over, 3 over for those. So again, that's Underdogs fantasy. It's it's easy to get some action, and what's better than a Thursday just watching some golf, throwing in some 2-leggers. Nothing better. So.
Yeah, you can throw different ones in every day. That's the beauty of it. It's not like a pool where you might be busted by Thursday or Friday. You can go with the flow every day. Do something new.
Yeah, 100%. All right, folks. Well, thank you for tuning in. We will be back for the British Open as always, but hopefully we'll have a good tournament this week. I certainly see there's a lot of hype for it, so we're excited. Hope you guys enjoy it. We sure hope that it's going to be a great tournament. So,
absolutely. Thanks for watching. Nice.